This is going to be my quick guide on how to make gold when Fresh Start releases, so when the game comes out tomorrow. First of all, the main concept that I'm going to cover in this video is that you can only make money with supply and demand. So in New World, you have a trading post, and this is the main way you're going to make money. And the supply and demand concept is always going to be relevant, so it doesn't really matter what any YouTuber or any content creator will tell you. If there's no demand for the product, you won't make any money. So I will tell you some specific ways on how I'm going to make money in the new Fresh Start server, but if there isn't a demand, that way of making money will fall away. First of all, before we get into how we're going to make money, maybe we should first cover on how we can save a little bit of gold. So in New World, you get these territory standings. As you can see here, we get these little territory standing cards. As you can see here, here's a station fee. So whenever you go and craft, there's always a station fee. But you can reduce it with territory standing cards like this one. As you can see, I'm in Winchworth and I can reduce my crafting fee. Now that you know this, we can actually utilize this. As you can see, there's different cities in New World. In Winchworth, I'm going to make my Winchworth city the main hub for trading. So here you will see there's a whole lot of different types of territory standings that I have. You can see my trading fee is minus 35%. So I'm going to make sure that I won't get taxed in Winchworth. So each time I have a territory standing, I need to make sure that I take the card that will reduce my taxes when trading. So when I trade at the trading station. So I'm also going to take my brimstone territory, and I'm going to make sure this is my crafting area. So all my crafting fees will be reduced for brimstone. So I will specialize Winchworth for trading, and brimstone will be my special territory for just crafting. This way I will save on my taxes. So this is an important concept to do. If you don't know what I'm talking about and you're still a new player, this will become obvious as you play the game. Just make sure whenever you get territory standing that you don't choose a useless card like house items or property upkeep. Property in New World is not that expensive, so you won't need it. In my previous guide, I did make a little bit of a video about territory standing. You can go and watch that. Anyway, now that we have that out of the way, how am I actually going to make money? Well, the first way I'm going to make money, I'm going to use smelting and refining. You get these stations where you can refine resources. Let's just go to the smelter. As you can see here, here's all of the resources that you can refine. You get daily crafts. So with daily crafts, you usually make most of your money. So asmodium will be in demand. You can only craft 10 a day. Prismatic ingot, you can only craft 10 a day. Of course, you will need asmodium to craft prismatic ingots. So I'm going to utilize these two resources to make a lot of money. Since these resources will be in high demand once the game releases, so I'm going to make sure I sell my daily resources. Each station has their own type of resource or their own daily craft. You can see here's woodworking. Here we can craft glittering ebony and some prismatic planks. So I'm going to make sure that I'm going to level these professions to sell it as quick as possible. I'm not going to worry about crafting gear. For example, here's the smelting station or the smithy, and you can craft all types of weapons here. But once players hit level 30, they're going to require weapons. And this is where you can capitalize on a weapon crafting. So you can see here there are a few weapons that you can craft at 50. I think they call the artisan weapons. Let me quickly check here. For example, this battle axe you can craft at 500 gear score. This will be great for level 30 players and so forth. So you can see you only need 100 in the weaponsmithing skill. This also goes for engineering and so forth, armoring. But I would say go with weaponsmithing and engineering, so you can craft bows and muskets and so forth, blunderbusses and hatchets. But basically, if you go with weaponsmithing at level 30, you can capitalize on this 500 gear score items, where you can craft these items and sell them, since they have really good perks that you can just sell to other players. So I'm going to make sure I craft these types of weapons when players are starting to hit level 30 and they're looking for better and more weapons that they can use for PvP and dungeons. So I'm gonna make sure to craft those weapons. And you might think that, okay, it's difficult to level weaponsmithing. Well, it's not. If you go to the town board, you will see you actually get some very nice missions for it. Hopefully, okay, there's aren't any missions available for it at the moment, but you basically get these town board missions where you can craft specialized sets for weaponsmithing. That's very cheap and easy to level your weaponsmithing profession. So I'm going to use this. This also goes for engineering. Let me quickly go to the engineering station, and I will show you that you can craft a bow, a musket, and some hatchets with the same concept. So you can choose what to do. So if you go here, you will see there's a bow that you can craft. It's 500 gear score. So you can craft these items for the players that will need these new items, and which we to require these nice little perks on their weapons. You can see there's one for the musket, there's blunderbuss, the hatchet should also be here. Another thing is, if you're going to specialize in engineering, you can also craft tools for players, but it really depends on the demand if players are going to require any tools. I would say if you want to make money, just invest in some good tools and go farm some iron nodes and some hemp and so forth. Farm the resources and go and sell the resources. It's basically a surefire way to make money. But first of all, you might just want to refine your resources first by going to the station and level up your smelting or any of the other skills, and then you sell the resources on the trading market. So you can at least level your skills and then sell your resources. Also, another tip that I would give you, if you follow the supply and command technique, basically a lot of players will require armor. So all the armor that you pick up in the open world, so in the open world you will pick up all sorts of armor. Don't just salvage those armor. So if you pick up an armor, it will say bind on pickup or bind on equip. As you can see below, on that little item, it's bind on pickup, so I can't sell this item. But if it's bind on equip, you can go to the market and you can sell that item. So you can just go here, you can search the item here. Currently I don't have any items to sell. Oh, okay, I can sell these. So you can see here, I can sell this item, and I will basically sell all my loot. The only loot that I will use is bind on equip loot. The other loot, I will just sell at the trading post and make sure that I can make a little quick buck from it. Since all of these low level gear will become irrelevant, so I would rather just take the gold instead of just using the item for myself. And as you progress, you will of course go with the story mission, and you will get some bind on pickup items anyway. So just use the items that you get that's bind on pickup. Another way to make money is to go to the factions vendor. Here's a faction vendor. If you open it, here you will find rewards. As you can see here you can buy some items, some resources and so forth. But these runes of holding, you can make a pretty penny with them. This is used to craft extra bags and so forth. So if you buy this, you can go and sell it on the market and make some extra money. And also, if you need some better skinning knives and tools for your character to farm faster all the resources, this is where you can also go and buy those tools, depending on how much faction tokens you have. So make sure when you hit the required level, make sure to go and actually take your faction mission. You will get it in Everfall here. Here you will find your faction mission, and also make sure to get your mount. So in New World you get the mount. As I will summon it here. This mount, make sure to take your quest to get the mount. It will also be in Everfall somewhere. You'll see a little horse hoof in this area. When you hit level 20, you can get your mount. This will help you go and farm resources much faster. And if you're new and you don't know about resource farming, you can basically cut down all these trees. You can go and farm some rocks, some mining ores and so forth. So there's a lot of ways to make money in New World. Just go and farm and go and sell those resources on the trading station, since there will be a lot of demand for them. Later in the game, I guarantee you the prices will go down for all of these resources. So don't just think that you should craft and go crazy with crafting at the moment for new gear. make sure to sell your resources, stack up under gold, and later on when you hit max level, you thank yourself. Okay, now more specific advice. If you want to make money, you want to craft bags. So you can level your armoring here, the armoring station, and a lot of people are going to require bags when they start playing. As you can see here, let me just quickly go here. There's all the bags. So this will increase the inventory of your character, and a lot of players will require these satchels. So in armoring, you can craft satchels. It looks like I can't spell. There we go. There's the bags that you can craft. So you're going to require these runes of holding. As I discussed earlier, you can get these runes of holding at the faction vendor. So you can craft these bags to make money. And we also discussed that you're going to maybe want to craft these tools for other players as well, so that you can make money. So you can craft these tools, place them on a trading post, and see if they sell. Remember, supply and demand. So there should be a demand for it to make money. Just go and see how the market looks like. There's no shoe that fits all. So just make sure you look at the market before you go and sell. Also, you can sometimes look at all the selling items here. If you go to sell here, you go to all items, you can see the prices, the highest prices, and so forth that is in demand. So this is the weakest selling order or buying order, and here you can see the golden steel storage chest is going for the most amount of money. So you can see all the buy orders placed here. So you can see this guy is buying a referral sickle, and he wants all of these perks on that sickle. So here you can see all the buy orders in which is actually in demand. This is a more advanced concept on how to see all the demand for the market. These prices are just an estimate. You can set your own prices for when the server launches. Another thing that I want to talk about is flipping items. So for example, maybe you see that there's only a few rapiers on the market. So you see there's only a few good rapiers on the market. You would look at the perks, and maybe those are your best in slot perks or not. Then you would just buy those 3 to 5 rapiers for yourself and relist them for a higher price. So let's say you buy them for 10 gold, and you see, okay, this is really good rapier. The guy doesn't know what he's doing. You list it for 100 gold. So you make almost 10x your amount of gold that you invested. So of course, so look out for flipping items. In the beginning, a lot of people will be selling their loot, but they won't know if the perks are good or not, since they're so new. So do a little bit of research on what's the perks, if the perks are good or not. I have an old video about the best in slot perks, about all weapons and so forth. Maybe it's still relevant, maybe it's not. I haven't updated it in a while, but you can look at it. I'll link it here. Now, another tip that I want to show you, or want to mention, but I don't really want to mention, is placing buy orders. So you can place buy orders in New World. You go to your trading station. I would recommend placing buy orders for iron ore and all the raw resources. For example, here's iron ore. You can go here and place the buy order and set your own custom price. And when you set your own custom price, you can usually undercut the market, and then you can just place a sell order to sell all these ore for a higher price. So you buy low and you sell high by placing a buy order. Currently my inventory is a little bit full, so I can't place a buy order, but you get the concept. Just place a buy order, so you will buy it for maybe like 30 cents, and you will sell it for 42 cents. Just make sure you take taxes into account. This is why I mentioned to have a specialized territory that will reduce your trading tax. So the main takeaway from this video is make sure to level your refining professions, like your wood workshop, your weaving. So your weaving, and of course your smelting, and your tanner skill as well, but your tanner station is that way. So make sure to level these refining skills first. This is your main focus. Don't worry so much about crafting armor and weapons. Worry about these refining skills. And another one that I mentioned is actually specializing in a territory. It will reduce your crafting fees and your trading fees. This is the main concept on how to make money in New World. This is the basics, but with these basics you can make millions if you master it and understand it. Remember the supply and demand concept, so you can see what works and what doesn't work. Also, there's wars in New World. I have to tell you this. As you can see, there's a war coming up, so people will fight for their territories. When there's a war in New World or upcoming war, people will buy out the market for potions, honing stones, and so forth. So whenever there's a war, there's big opportunity. So let me just show you honing stones. So these little honing stones will go up in price every time there's a war, as well as food buffs. So let's quickly go to the food buffs here. All the attribute foods, so this will be in high demand as well. See if you can find the food that will sell, usually it's constitution, strength, and so forth, since there's a lot of bruisers that use strength. So this is the food that you want to buy and sell. So maybe leveling your cooking or buying these resources, placing some buy orders beforehand and then reselling it for a higher amount of money can make you a lot of profit as well, if you follow the wars and so forth. Just do simple things. Don't go overboard and just think you can invest your money anywhere. Master the way that you can invest. Now that you know how to make money in New World, go and watch this video to see all the tips and things that I wished I knew when I started playing New World.